High-stakes confirmation hearing for Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett began today on Capitol Hill. If confirmed, she would expand the High Court's conservative majority 6-3. Joining us to talk more about this is Mike Lawlor, an associate professor of criminal justice at the University of New Haven. Mike, thank you so much for being with us.
No problem, Aaron.
So Republicans, the majority of them, hoping to confirm Amy Coney Barrett before the election. Democrats want to wait until we know who is elected president. What do you think we can expect to come out of these next 2 days of questioning?
Well, today was just, in effect, the opening ceremonies. Each of the 22 members got to give a 10-minute speech, and at the end, she gave her opening statement. I think what you saw is, the Democrats are united in opposition to her nomination. The Republicans are all for it, and they hold a 12-10 majority on the committee. What we don't really appreciate yet is how the questioning is going to tease out some of the issues that are really front and center in the election that's coming up. In part, this is about who's going to be on the Supreme Court, but it's also in part about election politics. So I guess you're going to see those themes coming out in the questions.
On that note, questioning beginning tomorrow, what kinds of questions do you expect to be asked from those who support her confirmation and from those who do not?
Well, I think let's start with those who support her, the Republicans. She models herself after the late Justice Antonin Scalia, who was a very strict constructionalist, very conservative guy. He is her role model. This is what she says. And I'm sure she's going to be discussing the importance of that. On the other hand, the Democrats, I think, are going to talk about the issues that are actually part of the election campaign coming up. Responsible gun control, women's right to choose, gay marriage, and especially the Affordable Care Act, because interestingly, in terms of public opinion, the majority of Americans are on the opposite side that she appears to be on, and the Republicans appear to be on. And a quirk here is that 4 of the members of this committee, 4 of the Republican members, are actually in very close elections to be reelected themselves. So on the one hand, it serves their interest to get this done before the election results. On the other hand, I don't think it's helping these 4 incumbent Republicans who are up for election that be talking about this stuff in the lead up to the election. So it'll be interesting to watch.
And before you go, Mike, what impact do you think these hearings could actually have on the presidential election?
Well, I think what you're seeing the Democrats do is focus on the issues, a woman's right to choose, gay marriage, the Affordable Care Act in particular. And I think if people take away from these hearings the fact that confirming this woman to be on the Supreme Court is taking a side that they don't agree with, I think there'll be consequences, especially in those 4 close elections for Republican incumbent senators.
It makes a lot of sense. It will be an interesting few days. Mike Lawlor, professor with the University of New Haven, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.